Hi, and welcome to another edition of Class Act. I'm Chris Jones, your design host, and I thank you for joining us. School is just about underway, so we thought we'd ring in the year on a high note. And yes, I did just go there. We asked you, the viewers, to submit videos for teachers that you thought epitomized what an amazing teacher is and does, which leads us to where we are today. We're at the home of the Highlanders. That's right, our makeover setting is at Thomas McCain Senior High School, where we were asked to do a makeover for a true class act, choir director Miss Crystal Haas. Now, after our premiere episode aired, it's become more difficult to surprise our teachers like we did last year. So we decided to include Crystal in our renovation. Well, maybe just for the first few minutes, and then we will ask her, in the immortal words of Ray Charles, to hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back. Well, not until we finish our reno. Sounds musically delightful, doesn't it? Well, then it's time for another edition of Class Act. Now, Crystal is the choir director here at Thomas McCain High School, and year after year, her students win competitions, they're selected to participate in big events and parades, and she's even the choral director for the whole district of Red Clay. She's also involved with the plays here at McCain. Basically, she's a great woman, and I, for one, am thrilled to meet her. Hi, Crystal. How you doing?
Chris,
I'm Chris. Yeah, nice to finally meet you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, well, so you...
Welcome.
Thank you. You have been described by a lot of other teachers and students as someone who's a complete class act. And we wanted to offer you a renovation, and I've heard it's long overdue, a complete renovation of your room.
Thank you so much. I don't know if I'm a class act, but I do love my students and I love to teach them. I acquired this room 17 years ago, and someone had it a good 17 years before me, and the 80s called and they want their room back.
Right.
And so I'm really excited about that.
All right, so we have a lot of different projects in here. We have the ceiling, the floor, the trophy wall, the storage, the pianos, and decorative stuff. We have some other surprises in the works that we won't tell you about right now. So this is going to be the last time you see your room. We're going to kick you out of the room, because we want it to be as big a surprise for you as possible, and we know you're very busy.
You would have kicked me out, I can't peek or anything.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, we're going to make sure you can. But before you go, let's take a quick selfie of you in your room for the last time.
All right.
When I heard that they were going to redo my room, I was so ecstatic, humbled, surprised. And I thought, wow, this is really a long time coming, but I was just so happy that I was selected. I walk in and I would say, in order to be positive, I would walk in and say, well, give me a blade of grass and a pitch pipe and I will create a choir. And that's been my mantra for the past 17 years. And yes, it's worked, but it would be so wonderful to give the students what they deserve. And that's a place that looks like it's fresh and new and ready for them, and that we've given the best to them for their educational needs.
All right, team, so this is a student at Thomas McCain High School who I think does a great job of explaining why this teacher would be perfect for our renovation. So here we go.
My name's Virginia Graham, and I'm a former Thomas McCain High School student, and I was with Ms. Haas for 4 years. Ms. Haas is a wonderful teacher. She taught so many kids how to control their voices and just how to better themselves. Haas makes people believe that they are stars. Even if they don't have the best voice, when we come together, it's amazing. This is one of the best music programs inside the state. Ms. Haas is probably one of the most influential teachers I've ever had at McCain, and she really deserves this, not just for herself or myself, but for the future of McCain and its students. She's gonna help them, just like she helped me.
I think she does a great job of expressing why we really need to do a great job on this renovation. This is really going to help these kids a lot, and it's going to just make the whole area so beautiful. So, all right, let's get our paintbrushes and let's get going. All right, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to the McCain custodial staff who's here giving us big, huge help with everything. So, okay, so there, I don't have to explain to you how much there is to do here. There's a tremendous amount to do. Starting from the top and working our way down, we're doing a ceiling that is going to have fabric hung from it. That's going to create like this wave pattern that's also going to help bring the sound down in here and do some soundproofing. And then coming down on the walls, we're going to paint the walls, and we're going to do some decorative effects on there. We're going to do some staff lines and music notes on the walls. Then working our way down, we've got the trophy wall, which is going to require a lot of carpentry. It's going to display all the trophies. It's going to have all the storage on it. It's going to have some lighting. Okay, then we have the digital projector and a screen. We're going to do her office. That's going to have a new desk. And what's going to create part of the desk is we're going to decoupage some of these filing cabinets to create legs for the desk. Our secret little project over here she doesn't know anything about, and that's going to be a recording studio. And working our way finally down to the bottom, the custodial staff is going to be kind enough to put in this really cool, large 2x2 square carpet tile floor. Carpet tile. And that should finish off our soundproofing and really do a lot to like bring this floor up in terms of aesthetics. So that's a lot of stuff to do. So we're gonna have to do this smart. I'm gonna bring in my shop and set it up outside so we can build all of our things right here. And I would say at this point, we have the overhead camera up. Let's just clear out the room. Well, there you have it. I don't mean to blow my own horn, but I think we did a great job of getting this place ready for our next steps. So sit tight, because when I see you again, I'll be ready to transform this room into a place that will strike a chord with Crystal. Good morning and welcome to day 2 of our classroom makeover. Yesterday we reimagined the choir room of Miss Crystal Haas. We assessed with some input from Crystal what we thought could be done to jazz up her classroom, make it more functional, and overall a better sound environment for her and her students. We emptied the place out, which is always no easy feat, and today we get jamming on some of the bigger construction jobs. Hopefully we can drum up some support from Crystal's coworkers and students along the way. So grab a hammer and let's get building. All right, so here we are. This is the first of our special projects for the room. We're going to decoupage this filing cabinet. Decoupage means to coupage in French. So what we use to decoupage any piece of furniture, in this case it's a filing cabinet, is we need a pliers and screwdriver to remove any of the pieces of hardware that are able to be removed. We need a knife to cut, in this case, sheet music, in other cases, magazine photos or any kind of pictures. We need something called Mod Podge, which is a really amazing, non-toxic, water-based glue/sealer that you use to paint on first and then stick the music on and then paint over it to seal it. And then we need, of course, a paintbrush to do that. So we have Ryan here. He's gonna help us out. The first thing you need to do is remove any hardware that's possible to remove so that you can have a flat surface decoupage and then you can add the hardware back later. So we've done a lot of that. Next, we're going to use this great stuff called Mod Podge. And what it is a glue/sealer. So you want to make sure that it is wet when you stick your piece on. So you don't want to paint a whole huge piece, because by the time you get to the end, that part's going to be dry and you'll just have to paint more on to reactivate it. So what I like to do is I like to get an idea of where my first piece is going to do. So you kind of paint it in sections and stick in this case, music on in sections so that you're not getting areas drying out. So now we're gonna just, and this can be like a quick process, you know, you just kind of slap it on, get it more or less where you need it to be. A little bit of this goes a long way, although you do use it to seal the piece afterwards, so you can end up using a fair amount of it just in order to get a nice seal. And then the great thing about this process is it's very forgiving, so if there's any gaps or there's any areas you want to cover, you can just go back in and cut a custom piece that then fills in any gaps that you may have gotten. So then what you do while this is still on here and still wet, you paint Mod Podge back over it, and with the brush you work out any wrinkles that there might be in here. And then what happens is as this dries, it shrinks the paper a little bit, so that gets rid of a lot of the wrinkles as well. All right, so this is the very beginning of this. We've got like 4 more of these to do, or 3 more of these to do, and a huge stack of music. So I'm gonna hand this off to you, and I'm gonna go run out and cut some wood, so have at it. All right.
Wow, it's bright in here.
What do you have there for us?
Well, I have a painting that was requested by Crystal Haas for her classroom. I have known Crystal Haas for probably 20 years, maybe a little more. She's always such a positive person and just spreads that wherever she goes. As I hear stories of how her students grow and bloom in their time in this school and in her classroom, I will be more invested in that process by having a painting in her classroom. Crystal, I am so proud of you and what you've been doing all these years, and I'm so excited for the rejuvenation that you're going to feel through this renovation and having a fresh room. And I believe it will refreshen you to move forward and keep going in the work that's before you. And I love you, I love what you're doing, and keep going.
All right, so welcome to my mobile workshop here. We're set up in the parking lot of the school, and this project is building a large-scale G-clef or treble clef. That's going to be part of the trophy wall, and it's going to relate to the shelves, so that the shelves are kind of the staff lines of the music, and the G-clef punctuates it on the side. So what I did was I blew up this G-clef, this treble clef, onto a piece of plywood, and I'm drawing it out. I used the staff lines as a grid to make sure that my treble clef was the proper proportion to what's on here. So now I was just sort of coloring it in so I know which section I'm cutting. And I'm also kind of like helping to smooth out some of these curves and make them a little easier to read as I'm cutting. So that's good enough to start. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a pilot hole to get my jigsaw started. So I'm gonna come over here, start cutting these out. So let me put my glasses on for safety. And go, all right. And then, so I'm cutting this G-clef out of 3/4 inch thick plywood so I can make the pieces of it fairly slender and it'll still be strong enough. All right, so now just a whole lot more of that and we'll build these shelves and we'll get them in later today.
She's a very strong promoter of education, and I think a role model for many teachers that know her, not only at McCain but throughout the school district.
Woo! All right, so 2 days down, 3 to go, and there's still a lot to do. We got a lot done today. We got the floor in, we got 98% of the painting done, we got all the supports on the trophy wall in, we got a lot of the cabinets built, we got some framing done, we got some decoupaging done on the file cabinets, those look great. but there's still a lot more to do. There's still a ton of sewing to do for our cool fabric drop ceiling. There's still, you know, a lot of silver paint to do, a lot of silver trim on the walls and the doors. There's still a lot of woodwork on the trophy wall to go in. Probably 75% of that still has to happen. Tomorrow the ceiling's gonna get worked on, the electric's gonna happen. We're gonna start working on the recording studio. So I feel good about it, but I'm a little bit worried. The team is doing a great job. They are kicking it out, but we really need to step it up another notch now. Good morning. After a good night's rest, I feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and raring to go. It's day 3, and we have a laundry list of projects that need to get finished and an even longer list of jobs that need to get started. But where there's a will, there's a way, and with the crew that we have here on Class Act behind me, there's no stopping us. Now, a lot of my crew has been giving me a hard time about all my musical idioms throughout the show. And honestly, they're starting to sound like a broken record. And I don't want to blow the whistle by calling them out on camera, but you can't unring a bell, especially when yours truly likes to march the beat of his own drum. So before I get started for today and go face the music with my crew, I want to leave you with one thought. The earth has music for those who listen. That was William Shakespeare. Or, what if Stacy's mom was Jesse's girl and her number was 8675309? Think about it.
She's one of those folks that defies gravity, defies aging. She's the fountain of youth. She is so young looking. She looks the same that she did when I met her 14 years ago. And that youth and that energy is contagious. She brings such a tremendous spirit to all that she does in our music program. She is able to take students on this journey and not just appreciate music, but take kids that are rough around the edges and slap them with a dress and give them music to sing, and they become part of this phenomenal singing group.
All right, so midday, day 3, it's going well, not great, but not bad. I'm still thinking positively. I just think we need to hit the right high note to finish strong. Hey Shannon, how you doing? Thank you so much for coming in. This is here's some of the fabric. So a big part of the design of this room is the fact that we're creating this wave fabric drop ceiling, and so it's going to do a lot in here to soak up some of the high notes, some of the like loud tinniness in the room, and it's going to create like this sort of beautiful, soothing, undulating wave ceiling. So it's also a huge amount of sewing. It's turning out to be. So these are our 2 colors right here. We have a light blue and a darker blue. These are going to alternate on the ceiling in sort of like a checkerboard pattern. Let me show you the design here. As you can see, we're leaving some panels out for the lights to come through, and then also the sprinkler system. But what this is going to entail is hemming these panels on each side and then creating pockets on the end. So it's going to be almost like a tapestry or a curtain that's going to have 2 curtain rods on either side, and those curtain rods then are going to be attached up into the drop ceiling. So there's only about, I don't know, 100 or so of these to make. So we're going to get you set up in a room with a sewing machine and yards of fabric and lots of thread, and just have you go to it. And then we're going to create a system to hang these. And what I realized is that there are thousands of these paper clips in this school, and this is the perfect thing to attach to our rods and then hook up into the drop ceilings. So I know this is a lot to do, but we'll check in with you periodically throughout the day. Let me give you your fabric. Here you go. Good luck. We'll see you later. Okay, because the shelves for the trophy wall are 21.5 feet long, we're going to scab together individual boards to make these shelves. So I came up with these kind of cool round scabs that go along with the musical motif, and we're just going to glue these and nail them down. All right. So I just have a few more of those to do. Then these get polyurethane, they get taken in the room and laid in place, and we can put trophies on them. if we have another day like this, I'm gonna be singing the blues. But we're getting there. Slow but steady, we are getting there. Light. It's tight. 20 and 7/8. Okay, so this is the part they don't show. Do you have sound? Yeah. This is the part they don't show on home makeover shows, is that you have to write things down and make little drawings with lots of little numbers. They never show that part. All right, so day 4, it's getting very exciting. What happens with a lot of these is that the individual parts take a long time to make and it doesn't look like anything's happening, but then once they start to come together, things really start going. So now we're going. All right. So over here, Tony is hanging the fabric ceiling. We just have about 1 million more of these to hang, and then then it's gonna look like it's supposed to look, like the design. The recording studio's coming along nicely. Jeff's working on the silver trim. We got the counter in. The electricians are putting up the lights. We hung the screen to get the projector, the distance to the projector. We got the counters looking good. The shelves are gonna come in, and then we're gonna get the lighting on the shelves. It's gonna be great. So this has to get revealed tomorrow at 3 o'clock or so. So it's crunch time, but I think we're gonna make it. We're getting towards the peak of the mountain, and hopefully tomorrow we're gonna come rolling down the other side of the mountain. So we'll see. Well, hello there. Welcome to the 5th and final day of Class Act and our classroom makeover for Crystal Haas. I've been going over the list of things that still need to be done today, and it sure looks like there is a lot to do. However, we brought in some more help, and I'm feeling really good that a reveal today will be on schedule. So excuse me if I don't go into everything, but I gotta get to work. So come along on a whirlwind of renovations as the clock keeps ticking on our big reveal, only 7 hours away. Yikes! All right, so day 5, last day. It's crunch time. It's gonna reveal in a few hours, and as you can see, there's still so much more to do, but the lighting is in for the trophy wall. We're getting the back tiles in. We've got to bring the trophies in later. The crew came in early. They put up the risers. So that was a huge thing, getting that done. There's pictures going up on the walls. The curtains are up. The ceiling there are a lot of tiles that still have to get made for that, but we have people working on that like crazy. We got some decals up. We got the recording studio. That's like her surprise. We're kind of keeping that as a surprise. Got the on-air sign hooked up. That was key. We got the curtains up. Her office is coming along beautifully. We still have some more soundproofing tiles to go. There's still like a whole cabinet that has to go under here with shelves. That'll happen at some point. So anyway, everybody's going like crazy, and I'm so excited about how she's gonna react to this. I can't wait. All right, so what do you got? Show me.
All right, so we got all these old clarinet pieces and some flute pieces and a couple old lamps.
Oh,
so
nice.
Okay. Doing something like,
Oh, yeah.
Pieces
Nice.
And the clarinet, and hopefully we can make some kind of cool.
Oh, there you go. Right, and you have the light coming out of there.
Yeah, have a fixture coming
Feed
out
it through
of the
there. Oh, very nice. All right, that's cool. And I found this. We're going to drill through here, I think, and run some lamp cord through here. Have a light coming out of here for a chandelier. So we just gotta figure out some kind of shade situation if we're even gonna do that. But this makes a nice reflector for the light, so I think that should light it up. All right, well, we've got 2 hours, so let's get it cranking. All right, thanks, man. See ya.
Am I nervous at all? I'm very, very nervous, but I'm excited. It's a good nervous. I'm really excited, and it's a pinch me experience. So I think the nerves are good. They're gonna work in my favor.
When I met Crystal, I was just blown away just by how open she was, just how sort of thankful she was at just even being considered for this project, because you feel how much she cares about her room and about music and about her kids. You just feel that coming out of her.
she has revealed how excited she is about this.
I truly am so happy to be a part of watching this experience, watching this opportunity for you. You deserve it wholeheartedly.
We are so happy to see that this room is joining this millennium. The room is beautiful. I can envision what it's going to look like in the future. If Crystal could turn straw into gold with what she had before, I can only imagine what it's going to be like now.
Close. All right, open up. Surprise!
You guys just blew me away. It's exceptional, just exceptional.
If you remember before, there was this kind of like beat up wooden display case here
Yes.
with all of your trophies, and they were all stacked in
I
front of each
remember,
other.
yes.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Now we've got you've got track lighting, you've got all of your trophies. They may not be in the perfect chronological order, but we figured you could fix that. Yeah.
Yes.
We have your speakers hooked to your surround sound here.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love that you laid them down the side. I would have never thought of that.
Right. And
Just
so and you remember
elegant.
all of those file cabinets, the rusty,
Yes.
mismatched file cabinets that were here? Well, now
precinct.
all of your music
Oh,
is neatly
how
organized in
beautiful.
these drawers that glide smoothly in and out. Yeah.
Oh, how perfect.
There you go. And you can take music out,
And
you
you're
can
not
lay it out
musty and
on here.
moldy anymore.
So now the ceiling, you know, it was very loud in here before. It was very tinny. So we came up with this idea for this fabric wave ceiling.
Oh, it's
so
perfect.
it gives this nice sort of abstract, soothing wave motion,
Oh, it's
and at the same time it
awesome.
absorbs sound.
I know when you first described that, I thought, you know, fabric on my ceiling, I don't know, but it's so beautiful.
So we worked with it, and we'll show you how we worked with it. That's a good segue into
Okay.
this room back here.
Thank you. Oh, cool. Oh my word.
So now you have your very own recording studio.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna want anybody to come in here. It's gorgeous. Great.
So this is a great place for kids to do demos for colleges. You can do multi-track recording, record all the different parts and put them all together. You want to turn around and look
Yeah.
up? They flip the
Oh,
switch here.
On air. How cool. That is so cool.
Got an on-air switch. And
I love my music tree. That is
You love
so awesome.
so all right, so why don't we take a mosey on over to your new office?
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh my goodness.
So-
Oh my goodness.
that was some art that your friend from church made.
Oh my word, I'm so glad it's in here.
It's
This
your own
is
project.
so cool.
So here's some
And you
more.
kind of kept up some of the same things. Look at this.
Here's some more of the repurposed decoupage file cabinets.
Oh, it's perfect. This is so awesome. It's miraculous.
If you could have seen how much sawdust was outside your window
I
there.
bet.
And I have to say, of the rooms we've done, you, Crystal Haas, are a class act. So thank you so much and everything you do for your students.
Thank you. I appreciate
And
it.
we're on to the next classroom.
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's me, if I can, tooting our horn for the show. I'm really excited about the way the room turned out. Crystal's reactions were amazing, and I'm really excited about how our students are going to react when they see the room. So I think we may have gotten an A+ on this one. Thanks for joining us on Class Act, where we're achieving excellence together, one classroom at a time.